Ladies and gentlemen,
Good.
boys and girls, children of all ages, the world is here. You start your week off right with the people they call the Sideline Junkies. It's the Sideline Junkies. It's the podcast network. We doing what we do. It's the Sunday Rise. And I know that the boss is here. So I have to give the opening over to him and let him do the opening the only way he can, talking about his. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let him tell you about it. Go ahead, boss man.
Look, you know how we do it here. It's 11 a.m. Sunday, right? Nice, brisk fall day outside. And here at the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network, we've upgraded the collection trays to only have and accept bills greater than $20 denominations. So with President Trump retiring the penny, we no longer take change. We don't have room for it. It costs too much to process. So we're going to throw that Sideline Junkies, not 24 karat gold collection plate. We're going to throw that 100 karat gold collection plate, that platinum, diamond studded, with a Rolex beveled in each plate. So you know the time, right? Gives you a timestamp when you make your donation. We're going to pass that collection plate around because it's that time, Midnight Rider. It is time for the Sunday Rise.
Sunday Rise. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is take you around the sports world. We got an epic World Series from last night and just an epic series all together. We're going to take you through the trio that we do on Thursday nights. So we got some stuff there. We also had some interesting upsets that we're going to talk about because we didn't cover them on Thursday because we didn't think the games were going to be there, but we got some upsets. So cover that for you. And then we're going to hit you with the nickel. You know what I'm saying? And that's our 5 games from the NFL doing what we do it how we do it, and do it the way we do it. Only way the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network can. And in the words of Coach Jackson, there's no better way to start your week off than to start your week with the Sunday Rise. And with that being said, let's get to it. Last night, Game 7, World Series, epic. I'm going to tell you right now, as a baseball fan, as a baseball lifer, I've never seen a World Series this interesting, this dynamic. I know KG might jump in the comments and talk about the Yankees or whatever, but we don't care about the Yankees. All right. This Game 7, we finished in 11 innings, was 5-4 the Dodgers. I don't even know where to start with this series because we had 2 extra inning games. One goes 11, one goes 18. We have the most dominant team, or the team with the most money invested in their team, against the team from Toronto. I don't know where else to go. So, boss man, if you want to take us through some numbers or hit us with some stats or some info from last night, like, let's get started that way, and then we can go from there and keep the party going, baby.
All right. Well, I mean, the most basic stat is, like you said, the Dodgers take the World Series 4-3 in Toronto. I'm a casual baseball fan. I'll let you know that. And for the casual baseball fan like myself, it was just a great series. It's a really great series, very, very entertaining, very interesting. You had a little bit of everything. If you're really into the technical stuff and you appreciate the knowledge for the game, that play where the ball got stuck,
Yes.
that you, if you appreciate just those little nuances of the game, because anybody can get on anywhere and analyze into the ground, right? Oh, in this situation, you do this, that, and other. But it's another thing doing it live and having the wherewithal to be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? And stop Toronto from possibly, were they were tied it or took the lead there?
They would have gotten another run, so I think they would have expanded their lead.
Okay.
If memory serves me correctly.
So yeah, the little things like that, man. It was really interesting. And then last night, just the fireworks. I went to sleep. Toronto was up. Toronto was up, and I'm like, okay, at home they holding the ground. I wake up, I see the Dodgers celebrating all over the internet, and I see Vlad Jr. in the dugout holding his head. And you hate seeing that. It's all, unfortunately, always has to be a loser. So,
Oh snap! I gotta send my thing out. I
oh,
forgot. Go ahead.
what you got?
I gotta make my post that we sending the Toronto World Series champion T-shirts to the third world country. I forgot
Yeah,
I didn't send that out.
you forgot about that.
That's a staple.
That's a rider staple at the loser of the championship series. So yeah, you got to do that. But now, very very entertaining, man. Like you can't get better than this if you're a baseball fan, you're a casual fan, or if you're just a sports fan and you tuned in. This is what you want. This is what Major League Baseball wants. I will say this, and we've said this. We talked about this for the last 5 years. The Dodgers and the Lakers won championships in 20, and everybody put asterisks beside them and questioned them. And here the Dodgers are. I said this before. The only way to take some of that asterisk off is to win more championships. And here you go, back to back, 24-25. Dodgers are your World Series champions. Congratulations to them. I see this right now. They got to be the favorites for next year.
Easily.
Yeah, it's just, we'll see what Toronto adds. That's for another show later time. But they're right now they're what they got pitching, hitting, just the way they're running. Magic Johnson gets another championship trophy in his case. So it's a good thing to see. And then, of course, you see the bandwagon riders. But that's whole nother topic. But yeah, congratulations to LA, man.
LA did their thing last night.
They did.
They won it in only the fashion they could. Will Smith is probably the best hitting catcher in all of Major League Baseball. Coming through with that home run in the 11th. Just the effort. I think Vlad Guerrero hit like 415, had 8 home runs. Like he did everything to be or could have been the MVP. But Yamamoto coming in, I think he had 3 wins in this series. Because of the inning he pitched and the thing, he was dominant the whole time. And I told everybody that that would listen to me that Toronto, the only way Toronto could win the series is win Game 5 because they couldn't win Game 6. They couldn't win Game 6 against Yamamoto because he's been in his bag this whole series. And for him to be the MVP shows you that like the dominance that he bestowed upon this series. Then for Shohei to pitch, I mean, it was Shohei, Glasnow, I think Yamamoto, and you just can't beat a team with that level of pitching. And as long as those guys can do their thing in that moment, honestly, this was a great series, for sure. Let me hit J Dub's comment because J Dub is right on point with us. Good morning, fellas. It was a great game last night. Dodgers were the better team in my opinion, and that's facts. That's really facts on tops of facts. If they basically had so much talent that Toronto they just got out talented, if that's a word. And I don't want to be up here like doing Jesse Jackson and making up words, but out talented is what happened just now. And it's crazy to watch, man. And I'll ask this question now, for all our baseball fans and the thing. Please jump in and comment. I really would love Anthony to be in here and at this time, but I don't know what he's got going on. But in your mind, I know you're a casual baseball fan, but to you, do you think this is one of the better World Series ever? Just from a collective outside standpoint, looking at the world from a distance.
Okay, as a casual, oh man, the best one ever. I got a different perspective because I hate the boys up north. So seeing them lose, I think that was it the Diamondbacks.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that would, but no, this I think this one definitely, it just checks so many boxes. You know what I mean? And you got David versus Goliath, and Toronto put everything and just for I saw the picture of the foots at the plate and how close Toronto was to trying to take this World Series. So I think you have to put it up there because for everything the Dodgers have, the payroll, the pitching, the hitting, the fielding, the you could check off at each position that they might have the top 5, top 3 player of the league at some of their positions, and you can argue the best, right? So for everything for that to go 7 games and to be as close as it was, I think you have to put it up there, top 3 at least, right? Top 3, for me. Yeah. It was a great series, man. It really was, because every game it was something. Every game it was something to pop off, and it was just like I said, even as a casual baseball fan, I keep going back to that play, just the attention to that details. It just tells you how the ball getting stuck in the outfield, how well coached, and how much awareness you don't understand in the heat of the moment where you want to grab that ball and chuck it back into so you can stop those runs. To have that awareness right then, not to do that is just amazing. So give me top 3, and we're gonna have to create a show and put the top World Series. We're gonna have to have our baseball panel on for that so we can talk about that, because it's a valid argument, but it was very good. Very good.
You know what? I feel I'm a little ashamed of myself that I didn't even touch the topic that you brought up about the ball being stuck under the thing in the outfield. You don't know how many times coaches tell you, if you can't get to the ball, just put your hands up. It is literally something that is said probably 5-10 times a practice when you're doing outfield drills or you're doing whatever. And I find it amazing last night that in that moment that player was able to do that and not panic and not have the moment overtake him, and he tried to get the ball from under the entrapment that it was in. Baseball is an amazing sport, man. Baseball has these moments and these things that you don't normally see and you can't normally get to, but it's because it's baseball. It's baseball. It's just part of the game. You never see a football player have a ball go over their head and put their hands up because they couldn't get to the football and it stops gameplay. You know what I'm saying? You don't have that in basketball where the basketball, actually you do, when the ball gets stuck between the side of the net and the basket. Yeah. You know, that's but it's just one of those things that you are told over and over, and the umpires come out at the beginning of the ball game and they're if the ball is trapped, you got to put your hands up. Mm-hmm. It is drilled into your head so much 24/7 that it's amazing in its own right, that a player had the wherewithal in the heat of the moment, in the action, to actually do it and execute it. And I think that really saved the ball game for the Dodgers, because I think if Toronto gets those 2 runs in, or even the 1 run in and the guy to third, I think it changes the whole dynamic of the baseball game for them. And I don't know if they can recover to make it back into the ball game in that moment. Real quick, J-Dub jumped in again with a comment. Oh shit, I keep forgetting I don't have touchscreen no more because of the new computer. I agree. The Dodgers are stacked with nothing but talent. Here I go again.
It's okay.
Coach Jackson says, starting my week off right with the Sunday Rise. Coach Jack, yo, we gotta link up, man. I keep coming to ball games and you keep not being around when I'm around, dog. I don't know what it is. I think you just don't want to meet a brother, but I ain't gonna put that on air, because you've fired me at least 4 times from Pretenders or Contenders. And okay, hey, the language. It's the way the show works. You know, it's the love language of Laurel. You know, when they say you're fired, it's oh, we appreciate you, man. Yeah, you know, and then now you're making excuses. Here we go. Let's go.
Nah, I was gonna say we ain't gonna hold nobody this past Friday because it was cold out there.
Oh, what?
Wait, boy. But and Coach Powell, we gonna talk about that switch to the heavier jacket. We're gonna get you.
Yo, coach, that win hit one time. Coach was like, "Woo, that's the Hawk right there, baby."
That's it.
Ooh.
Coach hit the joke. Hit the finger. Hey, somebody get that jacket.
Yes, sir. He was good with the hoodie or whatever he had rocking.
Yep.
But the second that win came through, Coach was like, "Nah, not today."
Because it knocked his head off a couple times. So
yep.
yeah,
he's like the devil is a liar. We're not doing this.
Oh man.
Coach Jack, I got two questions because BJ and I were at the ball game on Friday, and I don't understand what the call was on that touchdown that you guys had. If you can give me some insight on that, we will do this in the middle of this show right now because we would totally didn't understand, and the referee didn't.
I don't think he understood
any kind of designation, didn't give us any kind of sign to let us know what was going on. So if you can like touch on that without getting yourself fined by the county, I'd appreciate it. And we'll address it before we hit our first break. But back to the World Series itself. Best World Series ever. And you know what, B? I know you're a casual. No, you good. I know you're a casual. And I forgot about that 0-1 World Series. That was epic. That Arizona New York Yankees World Series. I remember to this day, and I will always remember this moment, that I was working at the airport at Enterprise at Dulles at that time. And I was such a sports fiend that I would pull up vehicles, put on the radio broadcast, and have the door open so I could hear the game as I'm working. And I'll never forget this moment. I've said this moment probably 2011 times on the shows that we do over the 4 years that I've been on with you guys. But I'll never forget. I mean, God Bless America came across the thing, and every person in line waiting to get a car, they all stopped and they let us hear. They let God Bless America play. I don't know if you've ever been in the service industry or your level of service in that part of it, but for a group of people wanting to like go to their destinations and keep their day going, for them to actually stop, pause, and even understand in the moment that it was bigger than us doing casual business. It was a moment when our country was trying to heal off of 9/11. I think that does beat everybody else, and I think that would be number one. But this series here that we have is number two for sure. Just because of the level of play, the way these teams showed up and showed out in this series. And I'm sorry, I got distracted, but I gotta give a shout out to NFL Network. Her name is Kimmy Chix, Kimmychix. I think she got married last year, but this shorty right here, woo, Lord, she in the top. Yeah, ooh, oh man. All right, back to. I'm sorry, you got distracted.
No. You're good.
No, yeah. Whew, Lord.
All right, first of all, I got to address two things. So you're the reason why once we rented a car and you get to bubble fuck, your battery's dead because you were listening to the radio, right? Opening doors. So okay, we try to narrow things down here in the Sideline Junkies and put some responsibility to people.
That don't kill your battery. As long as you don't put it in that in between space, you got to start the car. As long as the car
you started it.
Yeah. See, okay. I don't have it in that in between. It's like where it's on
that the fake on.
Yeah, that fake on. We don't do that. We got to turn it all the way on, engine revved up, and we good to go, man. That's why. So that wasn't me. That wasn't my fault. So you good there, bro.
So yeah, what you're talking about that World Series, and that unfortunately that's what the games itself, but the extra around that World Series, Bush throwing out that pitch
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's that's one of the moments in time where it's just like, you goosebumps every time you see it. It's just like you knew who you were when that happened. So everything that was around that game, and it was the same everywhere, man. It was just like that moment in time when you heard "God Bless America" national anthem. It was like that one of those few moments in this country where it didn't matter where you came from. Everybody
Yep.
was just like, this is about us now. You know what I mean? So, that was a special moment, man.
We always talk about like the epitome of what this country stands for. It doesn't matter about your race, your color, and your religion. Um, that moment, that God Bless America, was one of those moments where it didn't matter. We all were Americans, and it didn't matter your stance. It didn't matter what you believed about transgender and how you handle that, or BBL Drizzy, or what your stance was on Kendrick Lamar versus Drake. None of that mattered in that time frame and in that moment. It was all just about us being Americans and us having the same concept that we love our country. And that was the dopest part of that. And then for last night, for us to have the ball game come down to a guy being able to put his spikes on the base to stop a run and make things happen, that was epic. I mean, we Toronto had two situations where they could have won this thing and stole this ball game, but both times the Dodgers came up and did everything correct in the moment. And we may never see something like this again, but we had the best two teams in baseball last night playing for a championship, playing for a title. And that was the beauty of it all. Um, was this? Oh, he said, "Man, Coach Powell keeps me busy on game days." All right, Coach. If that's what you want to stand behind, if that's the business you standing on, we cool with that. But I don't know, man. I seen a lot of times where you was just walking by the little John Deere joint and doing everything else. So I ain't gonna say nothing, but I'm just saying we saw you, dog. That's all. That's all.
I mean, we got front rows and front row seats at the 40. We see everything, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah, that's the crazy part. B, before we get off of this topic, anything else you want to add? Anything else you want to say to close us out before we move on?
now we will be getting our baseball people together. I do want to do a show. Let's do top 3 World Series of all time. But I know once Maddie hits on, he's definitely gonna dive into this World Series too. So I'm be looking forward to that. But that's all I got.
Yo, I think that's the beauty of the network is all the shows have their different dynamics. And I know Maddie, Scooter's gonna have a reference point that we won't know, but he'll like track it back to like the 19. He's almost like KG. Like Scooter and KG, they just two different shades of the same person.
That's right.
One's Caucasian, one's Black and Asian. And it's just funny how they can reference stuff. I don't know how much you watch the Drive Time show, but I'm always amazed. Like Scooter will just be talking, and then I'll call him Scooter because that's the name I know him by. But Scott will be talking, and he'll just pull out some random fact of something off the wall. He'll be like, "Yeah, this guy in 1932, scored the first touchdown, and he's the only guy from Hartford to ever score a touchdown in the ball game." I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
It's like what?
Yeah.
How do you know this?
How do you exactly? How do you know this?
But it's him. Oh, here we go.
Now that I was about to say, don't even read it because somebody supposed to be in a bed with chicken noodle soup, crackers, and an old episode of Prices.
No. We're gonna give him some love. It's Sideline Junkies podcast, whomever you are. It says it's cool when they do it, but it's a problem when the Yankees do it. Man, that sounds like a bitter Yankees fan to me. But it's okay, man. I mean,
Let me ask you this, Midnight Rider.
Okay,
and I just want to let everybody know I opened a pack of Halloween gummy bears. I'm just trying to make sure there are no sewing needles in them. So see me looking down. That's what I'm doing. Let me ask you this. I know we gotta get off baseball. We about to go into our break.
Right.
How many of these Dodger players are farm Dodger players?
So that's the funny thing. Like, so Shohei came over from the Angels. Yamamoto was a player that they signed um out of free agency. He, like, basically his team in Japan put him up, and they had an asking price, and that's a all season type of deal that I can explain. But so the Dodgers were the highest bidders for him. Glasnow was with the Rays. Snell came up with, I forgot. I think no, Snell was up with the Rays as well. Uh, if you go through their lineup, I think the bottom part of their lineup is probably the only guys like Paredes, the center fielder. Um, and I'm doing this off the top of my head. Teoscar Hernandez came up in the Blue Jays system, which is ironic. Freddie Freeman's an Atlanta guy. Betts is a Boston guy. Who else can I think of in their lineup? Kike, I don't know where Kike came from, because I keep telling y'all, I never heard the name Kike Hernandez until November, and he's like the best hitter ever in November. I'd love to see his stats in November against anybody else's. Who else can I think of? Yeah, Will Smith is definitely homegrown. I think it's like 3 or 4 homegrown guys at best in their top 15.
Okay.
That I can think of. Blake Tronin was here. Yeah. I think Sasaki was another guy they got through the through free agency, so technically he would be homegrown. But yeah, outside of that, it's not much that's just naturally or born and raised on the playground most of their days as a Dodger player, for sure.
10-4. Well, let's go ahead and go to a quick break real quick, and we'll come back on the other side. And I believe we're about to dive into the trio, recap some college football. So, man, Roddy, you want to take us to that break?
Yeah, I'm just looking for the right commercial and I don't see it, so we'll go here. Ladies and gentlemen, what you just saw was our intro for our show on Tuesday at 5 p.m., the drive time, and they'll be at that 5 p.m. time slot throughout the rest of the year before heading into 2026. Maddie and the guys, Maddie, Scooter, and Showtime Sarah do a great job. If you don't know about the segment, there's a great segment called Dancing with the Stars that Showtime does that is amazing. It just gets us started, gets the week going the right way. I don't see for some reason I don't see the pretenders and the contenders in the intros. That might be something with our setup, but I'm not worried about that. But to keep the party going, let's go ahead and knock out or start into our trio section of the argument, and let's look at Don. I tell you, boy, I love that intro.
I bet he do.
Somebody patting themselves on the back here, but I ain't gonna say nothing. But we appreciate you, Don.
We gotta add Showtime and Scooter to that intro.
Yeah. We gotta figure that out. Make some adjustments. But I don't think he, at the time of us doing it all, was even prepared for.
I don't think he was on. I think it was just Maddie.
Yeah. So it like morphed into more.
Yeah, and that's always good.
And that's the beauty of it. It was all organic that we ended up with this level of people on the show, making the drive time work, making the drive time one of the best shows in the day. And here we go, Timothy Watkins doing Timothy Watkins things. He says money buys championships.
It does.
It does, but I mean,
In baseball, it gives you a better chance because like I
yeah, I
said,
mean, but it
we've
makes the
seen
world
it.
go round.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
mean, I wish somebody would do something like that. My job put me up, and the highest bidder come get me because I'll be gone.
Yeah, exactly, Doug. It's crazy, man. But let's get to our weekly staple. Um, it's not uno, it's not dos, it's the trio. Where we break down 3 college football games from the weekend, but we got a little bonus baby on this because there were 2 upsets that we want to talk about and talk to. But BJ, if you got the Texas and Vandy game up on your thing,
I sure
let the
do.
people know about the stats in this ball game, and I'll pull it up on the screen. Texas
All right, so
34, Vandy 31. Take it away, B.
coming into this game, you had number 20 ranked Texas, number 9 ranked Vanderbilt. Both 7-2. Or is it 7-2 now after the thing? Anyway, so for Vanderbilt, Pavia, 27 for 38, 365, 3 touchdowns. Not much on the game. Pavia, 14 for 43. He's your leading rusher there. But receiving, Stowers, 7 receptions, 146. 20.9 average, 2 touchdowns. Okay. They were burning it up in the air, but like they fell short. We talked about this Thursday. Which Arch Manning was going to show up? The one that everybody been waiting to show up. 25 for 33, 328, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. On the ground, Wisner, 18 for 75, averaging 4.2 in a touchdown. And Wingo only had 89 yards on 2 receptions, but he had that big play where he took it to the crib. So that gave him his yards, 89 yards, 44 average, a touchdown. Mosley, the 5th, 7 for 69, a touchdown. Moore Jr., 3 for 49, 16. They all their top 5 receivers. The only receivers not averaging is Mosley. Everybody else is 14, average 16, 44 for Wingo. Of course, that big play. So Texas was moving the ball, and they did their thing. I know I picked Vandy in this, but I got to give it to Texas. They came to play. Arch Manning came to play. They defended the home turf. That's what you're supposed to do. Great game. What did you think, Midnight Rider?
No, it's exactly it's something you always say when you talk about the college football game and you talk about momentum. And I think momentum was big and huge in this ball game because Texas got out early and had a nice lead on them, and Vandy scored in the 4th quarter about 21 points to make it competitive. But Texas played like Texas should be playing, and sometimes it's different because teams don't always fall into their place. They don't become who they're supposed to be until later on in the season. And I know my fellow coaches, Coach Powell, Coach Jackson, uh, Coach Garrett, and all those people, they understand what I'm talking about. Like as you go through the season to me is like a roller coaster. And sometimes if you hit that apex too early, then you fall down. But if you can get to that apex at the right time, your team moves on. And I just feel like there's this motion that with Texas that, Arch Manning is finally healthy and he's starting to become the person that we thought he was going to be. I thought all along personally that it was going to be a struggle for him because I saw who he played against in high school, and I thought there was a talent gap that he had to overcome. And now the Arch Manning that I'm watching this week here is the guy that I think we all anticipated him to be, to take it to a different level. Anything else for you, B? Before I hit comments?
No. Get to the comments and then we'll move on to the next one.
All right, so let's see. Yankees fans say that a lot. I already know what that is. MLB needs to be more competitive, and why have small market teams when you can just buy a championship? Look, man, tell me, we always had this conversation. I think there are teams that manage their way through this thing. And if you pay attention, I think MLB now has had 10 different champions without a repeat champion the last 10 years. So we can't say, or we can't hide behind money when buys championships because they're in and even in that span, there hasn't been. I mean, the Dodgers are the closest thing that we have to a dynasty in the last couple of years. So we can't like go and say, "Oh, it's money buys championships," because there are teams that win championships that don't spend the most money. So let's not get
the national. We go local. The Nationals.
Yeah.
You know.
NFL at least make sure the little guys get a fair shot in the draft.
I don't agree
Well,
with
that's true, but I mean, you gotta think. But MLB, what they just did is they tried to make sure that the little guy doesn't have opportunity anymore because they now have a lottery system where if you pick in the top, I think it's in the top 6, the highest pick you can get the next year is 10th. So it doesn't really take care of the teams that are losing because they're trying to, I guess, quote unquote, undo tanking, but you can't undo tanking in this setup.
And it's not going to work anyway because even if you put the little guys at the bottom of the roster, or at the bottom of not the bottom. If you put them at the top and try to give them more advantages, everybody still wants to go to New York, LA, Miami. It's still you still have the top 5, and every league has that issue. Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA. You have the top 5 powerhouse teams. And now you throw, and this is why I love the Oklahoma City Championship so much because that wasn't a destination, but now they won a championship. And I always say you make the destination. If you're that type of player, you make you want to change it. And a lot of these franchises have to get out of their own way of changing their culture, changing different things. And I don't want to go on a rant because that's a whole different show. So let's keep going.
By the way, I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but Kimmy Checks on NFL Network. We just gotta give her another shout out. I don't know if you know who that is, but you need to look her up, bruh. She is killing it in this outfit today. But being back on the sports brain that is mine and us dealing with some comments. Here we go. And in baseball, it's the money because nobody goes to the Marlins. Okay. We're done with baseball talk. Let's get back to the trio. And in the trio, we had Oklahoma 33, Tennessee 27. If you have the stat lines,
I'm ready to go. Oklahoma 33, Tennessee, the home team 27. Let's see for Oklahoma. I don't know if I'm saying the name right. Matier, 19 for 29, 159 in the pick. Robinson on the ground, 16 for 115. Then Matier right behind him, 16 for 80 on the ground. They didn't do too much passing. So they did their work on the ground. Tennessee, Aguilar, 29 for 45, 393, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. Not too much going on the ground. They spread the ball around pretty good. Between Matthew Staley, Brazil, it was pretty. They pretty much spread the ball around pretty good. So, but Tennessee falls short. Midnight Rider, you got some insights for that one?
This ball game, to be honest, man, it was tough. Let me see if I can pull up my ESPN real quick and get into the box score. Give me.
See, I'm gonna have to upgrade and hit this Matty Ice. I'm gonna have to get the 2 double screen going so we can have the box score up.
Matty Ice has got production of the business.
Look, I'm about to go to him for production stuff because it's like I'm watching Drive Time and I'm like, oh, it's a screen here, it's a screen there. Okay, right,
so, exactly. So Matier goes for what 1929, 159. Mm-hmm. Robinson gives you 115 on the ground with a touchdown. Matier gives you 80 with a touchdown. Man, this is a great ball game. And I
Oklahoma defense comes up with two interceptions.
Yeah, Joey Aguilar 393, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. I think Tennessee's problem was their run game didn't get going at all. And the same thing we said for Vandy was their run game didn't get started because they if they can run the ball, they're a better team. But the beauty of this ball game is you got a bunch of teams in the league that's super competitive, uber competitive. So when you get them matched up, anything can happen. And I think there's gonna be some issues when it comes to the playoff committee trying to figure out what teams in the SEC should make it and shouldn't make it, if that makes sense. I think we're getting to a point where it's going to be an interesting dynamic where some SEC schools are going to cry because record-wise, they aren't up with everybody else. But they have already done enough to be an elite team and to make things work, if that makes sense. The way I'm saying this, like I think the SEC will want their wins to count more against their record than everybody else's, because everybody else doesn't play the same schedule that they play. If that again, yeah. But
That makes sense.
I like where we're going with this. I like where college football is. I'm just waiting for us to end up with the two super conferences, kind of like an AFC and an NFC type of approach. I think that's really where the league is going to go in the long run, or college football is going to go in the long run, because college football doesn't have a true leader that's going to navigate us to the right path. I think they're going to let the conferences lead us to the right path. Let's hit these comments real quick. Let's see, Josh. Hold on. Y'all, here we go.
Just hop on the show. You killing me right now. No.
He good where he at. He good where he at. Let him be there. The reason he a little extra today is he still got his team is BYU. He's the only black man in the world I know that their college football team is BYU. But I love him to death.
That ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about whoever controlling the side, the person that's running the Sideline Junkies comments. That's
I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah.
I just saw that.
That's
okay,
what I'm talking
about. So let's go with this. Y'all know I'm right about MLB. Thank you. All right. And then my guy, Josh from so-called Highly Opinionated, who whenever he comes on our show, never wears a shirt. He's always in a wife beater. So we might call him, he might be Wife Beater J when it comes to the Sideline Junkies network. But yeah, Tennessee is eliminated from making the college football playoffs. I totally agree with you on that. Sideline, let's not forget Notre Dame won the Holy War. It's only love doing it thing, baby. I love the alliteration. I know where you're going with love, because love has steered us wrong in this whole process called college football.
Don't you start. Don't you start it.
And then Josh, congratulations to the Dodgers on winning the World Series. Thanks, Jay. Still, whenever you come from now on, whenever you come to the show, we need you in we need a t-shirt at least. We can't have you wife beating it up on the show, man. And in particular, I want to give a shout out to Highly Opinionated, because if you haven't seen their last episode, it's on YouTube. They had Lee Ice. They allowed Lee Ice to introduce his show, Unapologetic Sports, which is coming up. I think it airs Tuesday. Is that right?
Tuesday at 6:30. And we got it now. We gotta open that because that's a new show coming. I'll let you do the bit for that. But yeah, Tuesday 6:30. Unapologetic.
All I know is that I'm expecting fire, and if you've seen the pictures and the things that I've posted about the show, everything has fire, because I think Lee Ice is going to come out spitting hot fire, and just let the world know, just it's going to be a funky introduction to how nice I am. Tell your mother, tell your father, send a telegram. But he's going to do his thing. He's like the Energizer Bunny. And then The next comment is tell them player you don't want that. Here we go. So
Hey,
I've known I'm boss man. I'm gonna give you a quick intro. So I've known Timothy Watkins for about 30 years, 40 years of my life, right?
mhm.
And in that time frame, he's never called me Ben or any of my other names. The only name he calls me is player. So that's if y'all see player, just understand that's who he's talking. He's talking about me, dog. So yeah, that's like my unofficial official big bro. So I give him nothing but love. I thank him. Um, without him, I wouldn't have my niece, who is quintessentially the female version of me. Uh, yeah, and
Let
speaking of that, whenever January 11th happens, I gotta give my niece her love on her birthday. But I'm going off topic, so let's get back.
no, that's cool. I was gonna say let's finish up at Oklahoma, Tennessee, and let's get through that so we can be on time for the
Yes,
nickel.
for Jack and them
Yes,
coming in
sir.
with the thing. So yeah, only thing I want to finish with Oklahoma, Tennessee is I think this muddies up it's going to start muddying up the conversation around who belongs in the playoff, who doesn't with this league, and I think this is why if you watch the news about the Big Ten and the SEC, they're trying to get guaranteed spots, and I don't think they deserve guaranteed spots in the playoff. I think the
Oh,
playoffs
that's a
should be
whole
the
nother
playoff.
show. That's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
You just keep creating content. I just want to let you
That's,
know
that's,
that.
that's what I do. That's what
So
I do. It's who I am. I am the content creator. So here we go. Last ball game. Utah versus Cincinnati before we get to a couple of upsets. And let's just roll through
this
this.
is real quick. All right. Cincinnati, it just wasn't a game.
All right.
They never got started. It was, I believe it was 24-7 going into the half. Sorsby for Cincinnati just couldn't get going. 11-33, 221, touchdown and a pick. Never really got anything going on the ground. Receiving, Cyrus Allen had 2 for 133. So he had like one big play, 2 for 133 and a touchdown. They just couldn't get anything going. Dampier for Utah, not really good. 16 for 31, 213, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. This is Wayshawn Parker, the running
Mm-hmm.
back, 17 carries, 104, 6 yards a carry and a touchdown. Dampier behind him, 14 for 78 on the ground. And Utah just controlled this game, man. They just controlled this game, start to finish. And I think at halftime, Cincinnati was ready to go home. It's just one of those games, one of them flat games. Cincinnati just was never. They checked out, and it just you get those.
Yeah, and I thought Sorsby was going to be the guy that was going to carry
Me
them
too.
to victory because of the way he's played all year. But
Yep.
like you said, it felt like a game where the other team was flat and they couldn't match the energy in the building, in the stadium at all. And what you got was just the results of one team being just better than somebody else. Real quick, we got some bonus games. We didn't cover it in the trio, but there were some couple upsets that really stood out and affects the top of college football. And they're both actually ACC games, which I didn't realize until I just looked at it. So NC State goes 48, Georgia Tech's 36. We don't need to go into too much of this. We put it up because it was an upset, and Georgia Tech has been solid all year. And for NC State to get a win, a program that shout out to Showtime Sarah and her lineage and her being in the moment, being a fan of a team, uh, nothing but love for her in that space. And I'm happy they got this upset. I don't know if she's going to make it to Tuesday's show because of all the partying they're doing. Because when you're in college and you get a big win, parties happen. Parties just go. So Matty Ice might be down a partner Tuesday at 5:30. It might just be Matty Ice and Scooter, but yeah, it's just one of those ball games, man.
Just real quick, for NC State, Jaden Scott. 24 carries,
Mm.
196,
Mm.
8.2 on the ground, 1 touchdown.
Mm.
Killing it. Haynes King
Yep.
for Tech, 25 of 35, 408, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. Man, if you don't want a KG shootout, you know what I'm saying, that 2017 grind it out, and you want
Right.
some real over money, this was your game. It really, you had the scoring, you had the passing, but NC State comes out on top and upsets number 8 Georgia Tech.
And let's go into the next one because upsets beget upsets. SMU 26, Miami 20. All the talk about Carson Beck, and Carson Beck is starting to fall back to the pack. I think he's really being who I think he is. I think he could be an NFL player as a backup, but I don't think he can last and make it as a starter for any team. And if you watch his interviews after ball games, he likes to place blame on people, and you can't do that as a starter in the NFL and in this league. You gotta take it on the chin and be responsible for your mistakes. And when he makes mistakes, even if he makes a mistake, or the other player makes a mistake, you gotta let the other player know that you got their back and take
Exactly.
blame for the mistake. And that's what I see every time I listen to him or watch him do what he do. Go ahead, B.
I just want to give out look, SMU, Kevin Jennings, 29 of 44, 365 and a touchdown. Now I had said something when SMU was at Penn State in that college football playoff, and this whole NIL changed a whole bunch of things. That I think that was going to be a pivotal moment for their program. You're in Penn State. It's a position you've never been in. This is going to define your program and where you go, if you're going to go backwards a couple steps, or is this going to give you something where you can build on. And I think they've built on it. So now when you get into these big pressure games against these big schools, you've been at Penn State in the whiteout in the college football playoff atmosphere. And I think SMU is going to be one of those teams where, like, they can, if they're on point, they can dance with a lot of people. So they better be careful with SMU going forward. They knock off number 10 Miami 26-20. It was a great game, man. Great game. But I agree with you about Beck, man. I've noticed that also. The point the finger and the blame game, and it's like you can't do that as the leader and the QB because that affects people that want to go to war for you and play for you, man. So
no, that's crazy. And I'm glad you saw that. But the funny part is SMU. I think they just extended their coach and increased his buyout. So if he wants to go somewhere else, it's going to cost him astronomically to do it. But SMU, like you said, they're putting in the work. They've made themselves relevant, and I think they're going to stick around. I think it's going to be real interesting to see who comes out of the ACC as the champion, because I think they only get one team. I don't think they don't get multiple teams in the playoff. I don't know if the bracket was brought out tonight or today for the first time or not, but hopefully next week we can get talk about the breakdown of the playoff bracket as it's in place. And let's go comments real quick, and then we hit a quick break, and then we'll transition to the nickel. Playoffs, BYU. Again, I still don't. I understand that you watch them late night, bro, but the fact that you're a BYU fan still drives me crazy. Mario needs to be gone. His horrendous game day coaching and game management has cost us playoff spots the last 2 seasons. Men like James Franklin, he's going to win you 9+ games every year, but he's not going to get you over the hump. When you're a title, win you a title or a national championship is what I think he's trying to say there. You know what? I'm just glad that you don't think there's conspiracy against the team that you like, because you always have a conspiracy sometimes. So I'm thankful that you're not blaming anything but the coach in this situation. I didn't mean to pop you, B. I'm sorry, but we love Ant, man. Anthony's one of our guys, man. He's always in here. He's always creating content. He's always asking us questions, and I hope you understand that there's some joking around that goes along with the things that we say about you and we do with you. But we love your participation and your ability to hop in with us. With that being said, we're going to take another quick break, and we'll do. Let's see what we're going to do. We'll figure this out as we go. But we'll take a quick
We'll
break.
take a break. We'll come back and we're going to start the nickel, and we're going to bring in the gentleman Jack and his guest picker today. So stay tuned for that.
Let's go.
You still gotta think about me. Want someone to hold. You can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on. You still gotta think about me. Want someone to hold. You can put me on airplane mode. You can put me on.
If you didn't know, that was the intro for the Tuesday night flight, only on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Of course, Tuesdays, 7:45, live, Facebook, YouTube, man, Instagram, maybe a couple other places. But we're about to get into the nickels, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to bring on the one and only, the gentleman Jack Carr, the host of probably the best interview show on podcast land today, In the Passenger Seat, Wednesdays, 8 p.m. on the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. Gentleman Jack, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, BJ. Good morning, MR. How you two doing? Y'all doing good?
Chilling, baby. Loving life.
We having a blast.
All right, sounds good, man. How about them Dodgers? Go Dodgers.
Oh, I know this guy now. I know who this face is. Hold on. This is my guy. This is like one of our first interviews from In the Passenger Seat.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
He's the grounds crew guy, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Yes, indeed.
Oh my dude! Oh, I've
Yes,
been
indeed.
waiting all season.
I have with us.
Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, Jack. Hold on, Jack. I'm sorry. I've been waiting all year to talk to you again. So
That's
let
fine,
Jack
man.
introduce you, and we're gonna go.
Sounds good.
So I've been listening to what you laying down, Midnight Rider. I knew Mike was highly requested to get back on some kind of show with us. So this right here, guys, is the Washington National Cathedral Assistant Director of Grounds, and his part-time job is Nats Park Game Day Tarp Crew. This here is my cousin, Mike McGinnis. Everybody welcome Mike.
Mike, what's going on,
Thanks.
baby?
Hey,
Thanks
Midnight
for
Rider
having me.
already gave you a big introduction, but welcome to the show.
I know I have a lot to
No,
live
nah,
up to, so hopefully I don't mess up. So
Nah, you
You're
ain't gonna mess
good,
up, dude. The part that I love about this is I've been waiting because the Nats have had some hiccups when it comes to their field crew and some things. So, like, just real quick, take people through like a rain delay situation, because they may have seen you on In the Passenger Seat, but they haven't seen you on the Sunday Rise. So, just tell us like what happens in a situation where like there's a rain delay and how that communication goes, for baseball folks.
yeah, so a lot of it comes down to it depends on when it is and where it is in the season. Usually after All-Star break, the MLB controls all of that. They're in contact with our head groundskeeper, the team's liaisons. That way, if there's any scheduling hiccups, like after the All-Star game, it's a lot harder to get teams rescheduled to come back in.
Right.
So a lot of that comes down to MLB's call of when the game's going to start, if it's delayed, what's happening. Normally, pre-hand, what's happening is my boss is talking to both teams. Our representative from the Nationals that talks to MLB just to see like, hey, like there's a chance around 7 o'clock today for rain. Games at 6:40, so let's keep that in mind and we'll monitor it. Obviously, the umpires are involved, but once the lineup cards are exchanged for a game, then it's solely on the umpires. So the umpires at MLB take over that whole shebang from there. So we don't really have a lot of input. We can just tell them what the radar looks like and how the field's looking and how it should hold up, and just give them 2 cents. But typically, once that happens, it's all MLB's call. So
No, because you've been catching shrapnel from the local media about this whole situation of games being called and when they're not being called, and it's not even your fault. And I love that T-shirt because I have that same
yeah.
T-shirt. So you got great taste, bruh. But let's jump into the nickel. And since you are our guest on the show, let's start with a team that you like and you call
Oh,
home. Let's go Chargers versus the Titans. Chargers minus 10.5 versus the Titans. Over under is 43.5. Let's start with you. What's your thoughts? How
yeah.
you feel?
So I think the Chargers win. I had him when I put the line. I had him at 9.5, which I think the Titans can cover that, but 10.5. Yeah, I think the Titans can cover. I think the Titans have a lot to play for in terms of like the rumor mill this week is every player's for sale except for Jeffrey Simmons and Cam Ward. So I think a lot of these players are going to try and get their way out of Tennessee. There's a lot there to want to play for. So this is your chance to get on a contender. This is your chance. So step up today. Um, I think the Titans have the ability to keep it close. I don't think we have the ability to finish it off. Jeffrey Simmons is inactive today, and so is Calvin Ridley. So it's our rookie four of Cam Ward, Gunnar Helm, Eli Manor, and DK. So we'll see how the rookies do. At this point of the season, I think we're just all in for rookie development. I don't think winning is until we play the Saints. So again, I'm just gonna take the Chargers. But I did think the Titans could cover. Just these players are going to want to play up to get themselves into a better situation.
Jack Carr, talk to me.
Yeah, definitely, Mike. I hear what you're saying. Tennessee is beat up and put up. You got Calvin Ridley, Jeffrey Simmons, Arden Key, safety Xavier Woods, plus 8 other players on injured reserve for Tennessee. So that seems like a big old band-aid, really. And it's tough because they're so young, but to have that many guys hurt. Cam Ward, 5 TDs, 6 interceptions in 8 games. I know he's a rook, but he got to pick it up. And Tony Pollard, he's not helping you in the backfield. I look for the Chargers to rout the Titans today. I don't feel it's going to be close. Herbert, he's just slinging the ball. He's a little bit careless with it. He's got 7 interceptions. I think that's a little high for this point in the season. But you watch out for Omarion Hampton. He is so close to being a breakout back. But right now, they're pretty much sharing the carries between him and Kamani Vidal. 66 carries for Hampton, 54 for Vidal. So it's, running back by committee with them. But I swear Hampton is this close to having a big, big, big game. Keenan Allen, Luke McConkey, what McConkey's doing in season 2 is phenomenal. Those are 2 of his favorite receivers to hit. But watch out for Quentin Johnson. He's been a quiet surprise for this LA Chargers team with 5 TDs. So I picked the Chargers, and I'm going to take the under. So I think the Chargers are going to win this game, but I don't think that over is going to be hit. So that's what I got, MR.
All right, boss man, talk to me.
I know everybody's going to pick the Chargers for this. Mike, I want to ask you a question because you follow your team. Like, what are you looking to see out of you? Like, what do you need to see? I know you said, it's a Titans fire sale. What are you looking to see from certain players, Cam Ward, whatever it is? What do you need to see going forward for this team for them to go into next season and start evaluating, 1, who they're getting rid of, 2, what the draft needs are going to be for this team going forward, or coaching? What are you looking? What do you need to see today to start preparing for next season?
Yeah, I think just our rookies developing still. I mean, our draft class pretty much is whole starters at this point due to injuries or just lack of talent elsewhere on the roster. And PK, our receiver, was primarily just a kick returner early in the year, and then once Ridley went down and Tyler Lockett demanded his release, he's gotten a lot more playing time, and he's really stepped up. So I think him just evolving from what we thought was a special teamer to potentially a Debo Samuel, of getting him out and get him in motion pre-hand, getting him the ball in space, and just letting him create. Gunnar Helm, if Chigaquanko does go in this trade deadline, he's a big acquisition that people are looking for. Gunnar Helm from Texas.
Yes,
I'm hoping
sir.
that he can step up. He's had a few nice catches this year. So I think he found the end zone for the first time last week, and just continuing to prove himself there. And then Eli Manor, he started the season very hot. He's kind of cooled off a little bit, so I'd like to see him to get back in the fold and just get into the end zone, and just having those 4 offensive rookies really step up and get going. Defensive side of the ball, we definitely need some edge rushing. I don't think we have it really on the roster this year. So hopefully, in the off season, we can go get like a Mike McCarthy to really settle up the offense, get a nice young, or not really young offensive mind, but get an offensive mind to get our young offensive players to the skill they need to be, and then draft very heavily on the defensive side of the ball and get that more right on the ship. We traded 2 of our corners, so our cornerback room is really down. We traded Jarvis Brownlee to the Jets, and we traded Roger McCreary to the Rams this week. So our 2 corners are now gone. So we're just throwing in these young guys to the fire, so you can really step up and be part of this roster next year.
B, what was your pick?
I'm going with the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers. I think it's it's gonna be one of them games that I think if the Titans do cover, it's because it's getting out of hand, and you might see Herbert sitting or something. But give me the Chargers. I'm gonna take the under, but I'm gonna take the Chargers cover that 10.5.
Mike, real quick question, because I see your Stanley or your service device is tightened out. Who is your favorite Titan of all time?
Eddie George.
I would say either
Eddie George or McNair.
Yeah, McNair. I would say McNair. I feel like he just came to the
Was that
franchise
right?
at the right time and made us better. So
No, I love me some non. I love McNair. I have a sweet spot for him because the way he throws the football, or he used to throw the football, was always excellent and great. And the way he carried that team, I still remember. I think it was a Monday night game against Tampa Bay, where like they come back and win the ball game, and he has like this 55 or 65-yard run that wins the ball game. So that's why I asked you about who your favorite Titan was, because I didn't know how far back you went. I forgot your age.
I'm
I'm
in
a
my
dinosaur.
30s, so I remember it.
Yes, I'm a dinosaur. So it was all good. So for me in this ball game, yeah, I think the Chargers win this outright. I think the Chargers are gonna definitely cover the 10.5, and it's only because I don't know what I don't know what I don't know. I don't like the running back situation in Tennessee. I don't like what's his name, the dude from Dallas, Pollard. I don't like him at all, and I haven't liked him since he was in Dallas. So I think if Tennessee can find them a running back next year in the draft, 3rd, 4th round, because running backs you don't have to have a running back in the 1st or 2nd round for them to be impactful. You can get somebody later on. But I think the Chargers, with the help of Tennessee late, take the over in this ball game. So I got Chargers winning 10.5, and the Chargers taking this over the line. And with that being said, let's go ahead to Indiana Jones, the Colts -3 versus the Steelers. Over under is 51.5. Mr. Mike, take it away.
Yeah, so as a Titans fan, I am definitely not picking the Colts. I believe that eventually the wheels are going to fall off the wagon there. I think Daniel Jones will eventually regress to the mean. I do think the Steelers, Mike Tomlin usually gets that team to play up and play down to his opponents a lot. And with the Colts being the favorite here, I think that he gets the Steelers ready. The Steelers also, with the Ravens getting Lamar back and what they just did on Thursday Night Football, they are looking over their shoulder for this division lead, and they can't afford to drop anything. So I think that gives them a little bit of an intensity here. But yeah, like I said, I think this is the Colts eventually got to fall back to the mean. I don't think they're as good as they are right now. I know they're one of the best teams in the NFL, but I think that combination of playing the Titans twice, Daniel Jones being extremely hot, that's eventually going to come, and I think that starts today. So,
All right, Gentleman Jack, talk to me.
So what did you end up taking? Are you taking the Colts and the over?
I'm going to take the
Mike?
Steelers, and I'm going to take the under on this one.
Oh, okay. Got you. All right. Well, the Steelers with our guy Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback, 41 years old. The running back situation in Pittsburgh, I don't feel it's that solid with Warren and Gainwell. Rodgers is going to. I think Pittsburgh's plan is going to be to manage the ball and manage the clock. Try to keep the ball out of Indiana's offense hands. Because they're the highest scoring team in the league right now, Indiana Colts. So I think Pittsburgh's going to try to take this at a slower pace. And Aaron Rodgers don't got a problem trying to just manage clock. He would like to go as slow as he can anyway. And I think they can take care of Cam Hayward and TJ Watt. It's going to be a busy day for Slay and Porter in that Pittsburgh defensive backfield because Daniel Jones, he's got Taylor, first of all. Jonathan Taylor, the number one running back in the league right now, yardage-wise. He's averaging over 100 yards a game, but you got Pittman and Warren. Those three plus Daniel Jones are the core of this offense that is just hot to trot right now. So with the pressure that the Colts are going to put on Pittsburgh, I think the Colts are going to win this, and I think they're going to win it by a touchdown. Colts and the over. I take Indianapolis Colts and the over. Midnight Rider, BJ, how do you guys see it?
B, take it away, baby.
I'm taking the Colts on the over. Points scored for the Colts 270. The Steelers 175. So they are scoring them by almost 100 points. It's just one of them things, and Mike made a good point. Lamar's back. You can't afford to drop this game, but I think they're going to drop this game. You got two division leaders, AFC South and the Colts, and AFC North and the Steelers. And, the Steelers need this game. I just don't think they can keep up that pace of scoring with the Colts. I like what Daniel Jones is. I love these stories, going from, struggling, not being in an offense that fits you, and now you've kind of found a home. So I love seeing these stories. And, his legs with Taylor's legs, it kind of gives you that double-headed monster. I think it's going to be too much for Pittsburgh. Like Jack said, if Pittsburgh is in a position where they can hand the ball off, I know that's probably what Aaron Rodgers wants, but I think you're going to see Aaron Rodgers have to throw this ball 35, 40 times a day, and I don't think that's what Pittsburgh wants to do, and that's going to lead to them losing today. So give me the over and give me the Colts.
Yeah, I think Pittsburgh's intentions is going to try to bump and grind, but I think they're going to have a problem because there's going to be something wrong with the little bump and grind in this offense today because their run game isn't solid enough. I think Indianapolis has found the key to the code that will unlock who they are. I thought it was going to be through Richardson being the starter, but instead it's through Danny Dimes. And anytime you can have Taylor dominating the run game and being who he is and being explosive, you can't lose in this situation. It's a win-win situation. And I think, to be honest, I'm taking the Colts in this, and I'm taking the over because I don't see any way that this ball game is going to be that close. I think the Colts are going to abuse this team in a way that Steelers fans aren't going to be happy with. And the fact that you have Alex Pierce, Michael Pittman, and Joshua Downs all available to you, I think it's going to be a whole different experience that Pittsburgh isn't ready for. They're going to, and Pittsburgh's defense is what 31st, I think, in the league in defense, and they're going to have some problems, and it's going to continue the rest of the year. So I just don't know. I don't see a path to Pittsburgh being prosperous in this situation. So yeah, I got Pittsburgh losing to the Colts. I got Colts covering, and I got the over. For those that are taking attendance on the stats, and we're gonna move to the very next ball game, which is the Vikings versus the Lions. The Lions minus 9.5. Over under is 47.5. And since he's the guest and the guy that we brought on as a guest picker, he gets to go first. Mr. Mike, talk to me.
I think I'm going to pick Detroit in this game. I think the Vikings cover. In the NFL, it's very hard to cover these 9.5, 10.5 spreads. I feel like even as much as it does happen a lot, I just feel like it's hard to, especially with a division game. Over under, I'm going to take the over 47.5. I do think if Minnesota keeps this game close, I think it's a shootout. Detroit's secondary is very banged up. We see that a lot, and with Jordan Addison and Jay Jettas, I think Minnesota can really take advantage over the air and make this a high shootout, back and forth game. As long as that O line can hold up and not let Aiden Hutchinson really affect McCarthy. I know McCarthy is his first game back, and the last time we saw him, he threw 2 picks and got hurt. So hopefully, with the amount of time on the sideline, he got better at reading these defenses, and he can really go back to that first game that we followed McCarthy. But I do think Detroit wins this game. Minnesota's going to keep it close, and I do think that we have a classic shootout here. So
go ahead, gentleman Jack.
Yes, indeed, Mike. I agree with you on that shootout. I'm looking for big numbers out of this game. I say yes, indeed, Mike. I agree with you on that shootout. I'm looking for big numbers on this game. I'm happy that JJ McCarthy is ready to return. I'm high on JJ as a quarterback. Been like that since he was at Penn State. Carson Wentz, man, got to give him some love, man. He was beat up in Thursday's showdown with the Chargers, sacked 5 times and hit often. He had braces on his left shoulder, braces on his ankle. He was taped up and scraped up. So let's get Carson Wentz a good rest and bring JJ into this Minnesota offense. Jordan Mason, he's not doing much in the backfield. Minnesota's run game's not doing much, period. They're ranked 30th in the league in rushing. So Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, I'm still going to stick with this. The best tandem wide receivers in the league, they just been, you got Carson Wentz throwing you the ball. Shoot. They're going to jump up out of this, but they're not going to jump out of it today against this Detroit team. Jared Goff's just on point. Jahmyr Gibbs is coming off a career high 218 yards with 2 touchdowns in that game against Tampa Bay. So then they got the bye week. Now he's fresh and ready to go. I look for Gibbs to have a big game today. Give me Gibbs 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. St. Brown and Laporte are going to do theirs. This is the number 3 scoring offense in the whole league Detroit's got. So I'm going to take Detroit and the over. Detroit and the over, guys. What do you two got, MR, BJ?
Let's go, boss man.
I'll step in here real quick. I'm not gonna make this long. I'm gonna still take Dan Campbell and the Lions. I think the Vikings are gonna cover that 9.5. But like Jack said, if McCartney's coming back, you still got Jettas, you still got that receiving core. They're gonna make some things happen. But Gibbs on the ground, I just like the Lions, even though they're banged up. Secondary's banged up. I'm gonna take the over. And I'm gonna take the Vikings just to cover that 9.5. I think it's gonna be probably like a 7-point ball game. I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a 31-21 and the Lions do cover that. But I just think the Lions are the Lions. They're the cream of the crop, even banged up. And what the Vikings are going through, they have to prove that they can hang with them. So give me the Lions, give me the over. And right now, the way I'm feeling, I'm gonna say the Vikings are gonna cover that 9.5. Midnight Rider.
Ooh, that's crazy. I like what you're thinking, but I don't think JJ McCarthy can be explosive enough or be impactful enough to make this thing happen. So I'm gonna take the Lions. I'm gonna take the -9.5, and I'm definitely gonna take the over because I think Minnesota will make it interesting and entertaining enough for the people at home to understand what's going on. With that being said, let's take a quick break. Um,
When we come back, can we
yeah,
get to some of those comments?
yeah, we're gonna hit the comments, and then we're gonna hit Buffalo, and then we're gonna hit the Commanders. And with that being said, um, there's a infamous saying by a person on the show that says nothing but content. So let's hit. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing but content by the guy um, known as the Midnight Rider. That is me. He is I, and I am he. So let's jump into.
My man did his own commercial.
He sure did.
Oh man, that's all I had to come up with because I was looking for.
I am him.
I was looking for something else, but it's not.
But
in the comments.
that just popped up. So you found that.
Yeah, I just saw me. So I was like, hey, why not? I mean, you know what? I feel a little offended and attacked here because KG. Anytime I ask KG just to jump to his video, the first video he jumps to is the sideline, the WrestleManiacs. So I think I'm good. I'm good.
I give you that. I give you that.
All right, so J Dub here says, I have no trust in McCarthy. I think the Detroit wins early. And let's get to our last two ball games, which are ball games near and dear to our hearts. As football fans, we're gonna let BJ go last on this, but the Chiefs versus the Bills. Chiefs 1.5 point favorites. Bills over under is 2.5. I think the Chiefs have struggled with the Bills at Buffalo the last couple years. I think it's a 1-4 record or whatever. So, Mike, let's start with you and let the words rip. Tell us how funky you are, and send us a telegram. Tell your mother, tell your father, son. Never mind. I'm sorry. I'm rapping here. Go ahead, do your thing, Mike.
I think this is the typical Buffalo Kansas City regular season game where Josh Allen has Mahomes' number, and then once they get to the playoffs, it flips over. So I'm going to pick the Bills here to take this straight out win over under. I think we're going to get a little bit more of a sloppy game, so I'm going to pick the under of 52.5. I think both teams keep it close, and we're going to have one of those final 13-second games again where it's score, score, score. But I think until then, it's going to be a pretty boring, laborious game. And then the very last fourth quarter, I think we're going to get a nice little spurt of offense. But I think Buffalo comes out on top this one.
Okay, that's pretty smart there, Mike, compared to Buffalo's regular season stance with the Chiefs. Buffalo owns the regular season, the Chiefs own the playoffs over them, it seems. Josh Allen, he's going to do Josh Allen things. He's already having a tremendous year with 12 passing touchdowns, 5 rushing touchdowns. James Cook, 107 yards a game, top running back in the league. Shakir Coleman and Kincaid handling the receiving duties. I'm looking for a smooth offense out of Buffalo today. I'm looking to see Joey Bosa cause some trouble on the defensive side. Buffalo's got a couple key cats out today. Joshua Palmer, he's like 3 or 4 wide receiver, BJ Palmer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm. But, go ahead.
So
and also defensive tackle Defensive tackle DaQuan Jones is out, and linebacker Shaq Thompson is out. So Buffalo's got the big guy in the middle is solid on the, and Kareem Hunt is going to be taking over the running back position now because Pashenko is hurt. I think Hunt can be explosive at times, but I don't know if he's going to be exposed enough to beat this Buffalo team. So I'm going to take Buffalo and the over in this one. I do think it's going to be a 30-something point game for each team. Let's say 35-28, something like that-ish. Buffalo wins this one. I'll take Buffalo on the over, guys.
Boss man, talk to me.
Well, you know I'm gonna go a little long on this, but
Yep, that's why.
here's
That's you.
here's the thing with Kansas City Buffalo. Buffalo needs Josh Allen to do his thing versus Kansas City and Andy Reid stirring up a game plan to beat Buffalo. All right, Buffalo's also missing Ed Oliver. I believe he tore. Did he tear his pec? He's done for right now. Yeah, okay. So he's done for right now. That leaves a big, huge gap in the middle. But I mean, this is something Buffalo's been dealing with for forever. These injuries. Buffalo's in a unique situation where they are second in the AFC East. They don't have the ground they usually have where they're ahead of the pack. It's going to put them further behind the Patriots. So that's also something that you have to worry about as a Buffalo Bills fan. But this game is in Orchard Park today. It's going to be 50 and sunny and clear. Give me the over. This is one of those games where Josh Allen, he got to go to the sideline, and he got to pop up the trunk of over-reliable, put the cape on, and he's had to do some things. Doesn't have to do as much because, like Jack said, you got James Cooking back in the backfield. Like I said, the more time goes on, it makes the Buffalo front office look crazy for even letting him hold out. I mean, he's smoking hot. Now, on the flip side of that, it's like, what the hell happened to Keon Coleman? Like, first game of the season, like he was cooking, and now he's in the same doghouse as Elam, the cornerback they sent to Dallas. Like, it's hot and cold. It just went from, and it seemed like it's an added thing to me. But who knows? You know, you have to have Kincaid step up. You have to have Shakir step up. Knox, you have to have these guys step up. I think with the combination of those weapons, you're going to get an over today. Like Jack said, Pacheco is out.
Hey, what's going on now? The Gentleman Jack from In the Passenger Seat Podcast.
No,
that was I don't know what that was.
Yeah, you know what? But no. You have Buffalo. I hate to say this in week 9. It's a must win. It's a must win for Buffalo. They got to keep pace with the AFC. Right, I think right now, if the playoffs end right now, they're 4th or 5th. Mm-hmm. They have to win this game. And you know, it's one of them things like, you know, as a Buffalo Bills fan, like you don't care about the Kansas City regular season game because they can't beat them in the playoffs. But you have to win this game. This is the game you have to win. They got back on track last week with the Panthers. They have to win this game. Give me the over. And, of course, if the over and Buffalo wins, they cover. So I'm going to take my squad today. I'll be sitting here watching, pacing back and forth. I don't have any blood pressure medication, so I'm going to have to watch in spurts. So
I totally agree. I think it's Buffalo's ball game to win because they've won every time they played each other in the regular season. And I think it's the over. And with that being said, I'm going to hit you with a quick Sideline Junkies break, and then we come back with the Commanders versus the Seahawks, and we'll be right back in like 16 seconds. Boom. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from our quick break. It is the Sideline Junkies Podcast Network. It is the Sunday Rise, where we are taking you through the NFL With our 5 games, they called the nickel. And with that being said, the next ball game up on the ledger, Seahawks -3, Commanders over under is 48.5. I don't know if they want to call you Magic Mike or Mr. Mike, but Mr. McGinnis, take us through the next pick and walk us through this.
Magic Mike.
Yeah, I don't think I have the body type to be a Magic Mike. I might be more like a Muffin Mike, but I think I'll go with Seattle here. I think they cover the 3. I'm gonna pick the. I think I'm gonna pick the over. I can see it being a nice little contest. I just think Seattle being top 10 in offense and defense. I think that
Yep.
that's it's going to overwhelm the Commanders. I think a little bit. I think they're still trying to figure out their identity when they're missing Terry this week. I think it's going to be hard just to focus straight on Debo. I know Krosky Merritt. He's their back, and they've been using a lot of McNichol out of the backfield lately. I just think that when the defense can focus up on one guy, Debo in the situation, especially with Seattle's top 10 defense, I think that just overwhelms. I know JD's coming off a hamstring injury, and I know they say he's fine and could have played last week too. But I feel like a hamstring is just one of those things where once it happens in the season, it can pop at any moment. Look at Mike Evans. Seems like every time he comes back from a hamstring, it's the next game his hamstrings re-aggravated again. So that worries me a little bit, especially with it only being around 50 tonight. I think the cold weather, and the 50 is not too cold, but the colder weather, those muscles like to be tight up a little bit more. And so if you're not, if you're not ready for it, and you already have a little deficiency in your muscles, it could cause JD to be slowed down a little bit. So I'm just going to pick Seattle to cover, and I'm going to take I think I'm going to take the under on this one.
Gentleman Jack, talk to me, baby.
Hey, the under. Ooh. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I think there's going to be some points scored today. I think Washington's got a lot to prove. It's a home game, so they're trying to get some get me up, some pick me up, some get right, whatever you want to call it. I think Washington being home is going to have them in the right state of mind to try to right this ship. Krosky Merritt, he is now the pretty much full-time starting back. He's getting majority of the carries now. And you were talking about Rodriguez, Mike. Yep, he's good to throw them swing passes to out of the backfield. Samuels needs to be a receiver and a rusher. I want to see a jet sweep or two with Debo, because I'm telling you, he did it so effectively in San Fran. I don't feel we're doing it enough. And McCaffrey, here's my dib today. I was on Merritt for a couple of weeks in my little parlays, but I'm going to do McCaffrey 75 and a touchdown. McCaffrey 75 yards receiving and a touchdown. And then you always got the tight end, Ertz. I feel that's Jaden Daniels' security blanket, kind of like Andrews was with Jackson in Baltimore when he first came in. So, and if you look on the defensive side of the ball, all of the linebackers look like they're doing. You'd think this would be a shutdown defense with Wagner, Luvu, and Miller. I don't get it. I don't think I hear their names enough. I'm seeing Samuel and safeties making tackles versus the linebackers, guys. So Sam Darnold, he likes to chuck the rock. He's very consistent with it. And then Kenneth Walker and Midnight Riders boy, Zach Charbonnet. Really off to a slow start this year, Ben. I don't know. Charbonnet. I don't understand his slow start this year. I mean, he's like 2.5 yards per carry. That's not him. But you got JSN is what they were calling him the other day. Jackson Smith and Jigba. That boy hot. He got 819 yards receiving so far this year. Number 1 cat in the league. Cooper Kupp, he's banged up, but Cooper gives you some solid catches. So don't sleep on Coop, even though he's banged up. I look to see Washington get right. And I know every time I pick Washington, people are like, oh, that's his squad. No, I just think this is what's going to happen today. And with McLaurin out, shit, he ain't been here really. He's only got 13 receptions in 4 games. The biggest hurt for us is Dorrance Armstrong being out for the season. And he was off to such a hot start with, I believe he's got 5 sacks. So let's go Washington. What's over under, guys? Washington 48.
48 and a half.
Washington in the under.
Okay.
Washington in the under. The Seahawks are turning the ball over, and Washington hasn't got a shitload of turnovers. I think they only got 4 this year. So I think Seattle's going to kick the ball around. Let's see how it goes, BJ. What you got?
I think the home cooking for Washington is what I'm looking for. I do agree with something you said, Jack. Just like I said about Josh Allen earlier, they need a heavy dose of Debo today. Jet sweep, swing pat, however you can get Debo the ball today, you're gonna have to get Debo the ball today to take some pressure off of Jaden, take some pressure off the running game that's trying to get going, keep Seattle off the field. If they can do that, I'm gonna lean towards the Commanders to win. I think we're gonna go under here. I think we're gonna go under. I'm gonna take the Commanders to pull it out at home. And like Mike said about that injury, it's like we'll see how he rolls today. It's tricky because you need him to win, but you don't want to risk him not, something long term. But we'll see. We'll see if Jaden can get going. Debo has to. I'm thinking 15 target touches. I think that's my like minimum for Debo today. It got to be like 15. Whether it's, like I said, running, throwing them, whatever it is, get him going. And if they chime on him, that's when that parlay Jack talking about with McCaffrey 75 and the touchdown, he should be somewhere wide open. Because if you doubling somebody got to be open, you know what I mean? And McCaffrey's really good at running them routes, getting open and being like, under the radar. But give me that combination. Give me the Commanders. Give me the under the 48 and a half.
Yo, it's a funky introduction to how nice I am. Tell your mother, tell your father, send a telegram. I think this ball game is all about us making things happen. And I think this has to be the start. This has to be the impetus of the Commanders becoming who they were in this ball game. So I got the Commanders. I'm gonna take the +3.5, the 3, and I'm gonna take the over because I think that we have enough stuff that's gonna put us over the number in terms of. I think Jalen Lane gets us a touchdown via special teams. Either him or McCaffrey, one of them, somebody's going to make a break in a special teams moment. And I think that's how we win this ball game. I don't think we can win this ball game without one of those moments. So that's why I'm picking for one of those moments to happen. Outside of that, I don't have much more, man. I think things are going to be good and we're going to have some fun. And as a staple of the show, let's get back to what I missed it last week. But
what you got? What'd you pick, MR?
I got Commanders.
What'd you pick on that run?
Commanders and
under over.
Commanders over.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Continue.
So, gentlemen, what are you eating today? Let's start with Mike.
For tonight, I'm making some pork chops with some sweet potatoes. So we'll go with them there.
All right, Jack, what you got?
That's different than what you normally hear from us guys. Some pork chops and sweet potatoes. I was waiting to hear him say pork chops and applesauce. That's what I was waiting to hear. But Cam's home. I think we're doing tacos. She's gonna leave in the morning to go back to school, so she's gonna have Sunday dinner, and I think tacos, make your own type of thing.
Boss man, talk to me.
Hey man,
What y'all got?
it's a game time decision right now. I have no idea. It ain't gonna be pizza. I'm pieced out. But no, it's a game time decision. I don't know.
I think I'm
What,
doing.
what do you think, BJ? Little BJ gonna say he's peaked it out? Sorry.
You say that again?
I said, is little BJ gonna say he's pizzaed out, or is that just you?
Nah, never.
Never. Yeah.
Never.
Lil BJ is yeah, he's a baby Bettis. In my like I love the kid, man. He's just a tank. Yo, it's so hilarious. Jack, you wouldn't see this, but like when baby B comes to the games, like he just bumps me the whole game, and I'm cool with it because he wouldn't talk to me before. And now it's like, we best friends, but it's only through physical contact. I love the kids.
Same with me.
I love the kids.
Yeah.
But for me, I think today's food item, I think I got this Knorr's Alfredo noodles. So I think I'm gonna do a little chicken and noodles type of thing. Of course with some onions and peppers. And I see Baby B in the background. My God.
Say hi.
Yeah.
So with that being said, let's get to the end of this, and like let's wrap this shit up. I don't know why it's not showing. Oh, that's why it's the ticker. All right, so let me hide that, and there we go. So wrap this shit up, B. Anything you got that you thought about
your
during
boy
the show?
Jeff Ricker is hollering at you in the comments, MR.
Oh, he probably wants his steak and cheese. Yeah, there it
Yes,
is.
he does.
That's exactly what it is.
I got you, Jack. I got you, Jeff. I'll send
We
you
accumulate those, Jeff.
donation of 20 towards your steak and cheese endeavors in the future, and you can take that how you want to do it. Just let me know what your Cash App is. But let's wrap this up. Like, ladies and gentlemen, like let's if you got a single thought, something we didn't cover that you wanted to cover, let's do that, and we'll start with Mike. Take it around the Jack, hit it off the boss, and I'll finish it out.
No, I think we got pretty much everything covered today. I think we did a good job wrapping everything up. Just congrats to the Dodgers for buying another trophy. We'll see it again next year when they spend even more money. So,
wow, Jack.
What I'd like to add, I guess, go Dodgers. I agree with both of you guys. I heard you earlier in the show. Best World Series ever. Yeah, it's there. It's definitely there. And I mean, a 7-game World Series, you can't ask for more. And for this game to be, what was it? I think it was 3-1 for a minute. Then it was 4-3. Then it was 4-4. I mean, Will Smith coming through with that clutch homer was amazing. I got up off my chair and said, "Get out of here." That was a shot by Will. Big shot. Can't imagine how he felt running the bases. So, yeah, congratulations to the 2026 World Series favorites, the Dodgers, on winning.
Boss man, talk to me.
I got two things real quick, and I know we got to get out of here.
No, you.
That's all. That's all, folks. And I'm referring to, if you grew up in the DMV area, Six Flags America permanently closes today. So whether you know it as Adventure World, Wild World, whatever you know it as, I think everybody that's been in this area has been there, been through there. It might have been a pile of junk, but it was our pile of junk. So today marks the end of an era. 50 years. Six Flags America is closing officially today. The second thing I want to end with, look, Tuesday at 6:30, we got a brand new show coming on the network, Unapologetic Sports with Lee Ice, Flying Brian Sweeney. Tune in, 6:30. Tuesday. It's going to be good. New show alert. Unapologetic Sports. Coming to you live, unchained, and with a whole bunch of fire and brimstone. That's all I got.
Yo, I love the fact you brought the fire and brimstone. But so Monday, more than likely is Coach Powell, 7:00. He might be flying solo because it's end of the month for me. So I may not be able to make the show. Tuesday at 5 p.m. we have drive time, kicking it off from 5:30. From 5 to 6:15. And then at 6:30, we got Unapologetic Sports making its debut as a new show, bringing all the fire and brimstone to you that they can do. And then at 7:45, you got the Tuesday night flight. Wednesday, you got Nothing But Net starting at 7:30, only to get you hyped for the greatest interview show in the world, Craig. In the world, Craig. It's in the passenger seat. That's what happens at at 8:00 on Tuesday night. Thursday, I don't know what the pre-shows are, but I know at 7:10 we got the Thursday Night Throwdown, the greatest Friday Eve show in the world. Friday we have nothing going on, but Saturday morning we have you coming back with 11:30 p.m. 11:30 a.m. We got the Gridiron. We're gonna recap the champion of the first season of College Football 26, and we're going to take you into the new season. Hopefully, we have new coaches jumping in with us to make things happen. And then Saturday night at 9 p.m., we got the mothership of the network, the thing that makes the world go round, which is called the WrestleManiacs. And after that, we start your week off again with these faces, or some of these faces, making you and taking you through the world with the Sunday Rise. With that being said, if nobody has anything else to say, I'm going to take us home and get us out of here.
Jack, you got something?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, the guest Wednesday will be Greg Calhoun from McNamara High School football team. So Wednesday, we will have Coach Greg Calhoun from McNamara High School football coach.
All right, there we go, baby. Wednesday, if you don't know, now you know the best interview show in the world, Craig. Let's make it happen. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, we don't do no overtime. We just here to entertain you. Take it easy. Have a good day. Enjoy your football.